Hi guys, and welcome back to another vlog. You all seem to really enjoy my last vlog where I talked a bit about what my life looks like as an author and doing kind of booktube stuff. So I thought I would do another one today, and today is pretty much a reading and a writing day. Those are pretty much the two things I'm focusing on at the moment. I am reading lots because I'm really enjoying that, and I'm also editing my book, and then I'm working on some other writing related stuff that's got to be handed in. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. It is just after 9 o'clock, and so far this morning I have finished my book that I was reading, which was The Call of the Wild by Jack London. This is in the Penguin English Library series and includes The Call of the Wild and then 3 other short stories, and I've been reading it over the past few days and really enjoying it. And I really liked the first story, The Call of the Wild, which is kind of the main focus of the book and takes up the biggest chunk of it. Really loved that. I loved how it was written. I think his writing is great, but then I didn't really enjoy the other short stories in there as much, which was kind of disappointing because I thought The Call of the Wild was outstanding, and then the other 3 stories kind of lowered the rating for me, so I gave this 4 stars, which is pretty much based on The Call of the Wild rather than the others. And it is set in the late 1800s in Canada, during the gold rush in the Yukon, and the main character in The Call of the Wild is a dog called Buck, who is taken from his home in the south and goes to the north because he has the qualities needed in a dog in the Yukon to drive through the snow. I really liked that. I thought it was a very interesting perspective, and I think that the typical place you'd think the story would go with a dog as a main character would be to have the dog take on really human characteristics, but in fact I really liked how the humans and the animals were portrayed in the book and how they were portrayed as different, because I don't really like reading books with animals where they are given lots and lots of human characteristics, so I really like that about it. And then there was another story after that called To Build a Fire, and I think that was the weakest in the book for me. I quite liked one of the others, and then the other one I wasn't too fussed about it, so I much preferred the first one and would really recommend that. It was a really great read, and really interesting too, so that's what I've been doing. I finished off that, and then the other book that I'm going to be reading today is one called The Year I Didn't Eat by Samuel Pollan. We're actually in the same writing group because our books are coming out next year. This is his debut novel, so I want to read it because I've heard really great things about it, and also because one of the things I'm doing is working with the publisher in the UK on a quote to go inside, possibly inside the cover when it is printed, because this is just an advanced reader's copy. So the aim today is to read this and then do a little review and send that over to the publisher, and then if they want to use that they can, if they don't then that's up to them. But I am 2 chapters in so far and really enjoying it. It is told from the perspective of a boy who has anorexia, and partly told in letter form to his anorexia, who he has personified as Anna, and I really like that. I really like the tone and the style of it, and I really love the main character so far, so looking forward to working on this. And then mainly I'm editing my book, which I'll talk about when I get onto that. So that is my day today. That's what I'm gonna do. I probably shouldn't, but I have been working from my bed in the past few days because I found that sat at my desk I was just hunched over a lot. I've got a lot of room to move when I'm working from bed, so I feel like that's just a slight indulgence on my part, but actually it's working. And I find that if I just constantly sit at my desk then I get bored of it. So if I move around, so sometimes I work downstairs, sometimes I work here, I just work all over the house, then if I keep rotating it then I don't lose interest in one specific place, and that seems to be how I get the most work done. So it is a total indulgence, but I don't mind. I find it quite satisfying, to be honest. So I'm going to do some editing now, and I'm at a weird point in the editing process. So last time I did a vlog and spoke about my writing, you'll know that I was working to reach my deadline for my 2nd round of structural edits, and 2 weeks ago now I was in Haworth working at the Bronte Parsonage, so I was working away the whole week, and then I was visiting my grandparents at the end of the week, which was really nice, but it did mean that I just got focused when I was there on doing my work there and then editing at the same time. And the way that I was working meant that I was just kind of racing through it and not really thinking about anything that I was doing. So when it came to coming back, I got home on the Sunday night and I had a complete meltdown about my writing. I just completely broke down in tears and was not happy. I knew that what I'd produced I was seriously unhappy with, which you know, it happens, and I knew where I'd gone wrong. That was the thing, but I didn't feel like I had time to correct it. So I just, you know, I was in tears the whole of Sunday night into Monday morning. I was a complete wreck because I knew that I was not proud, I was not happy of the work that I'd been producing. So I felt like I had to go back and start again. So I had a call with my agent Lauren, who was lovely, and my editor Polly, who was really lovely, and we all agreed on the things that needed to be changing to mean that I was happy with the book. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. I knew that based on the edit letter I'd had, I knew what I needed to do, but I also knew the ways that I wanted to do it, and that's what I hadn't been doing. So what I'm working on at the moment is going back through the book to make the changes that I'm happy with. For example, I'd taken a lot of things out that I thought would make the story flow better, but in fact they actually made it more jarring. So I took loads out and I now need to put it all back in. Not all of it, but a lot of it I'm putting back in, and I'm so much happier with it already. Just getting the time to think about the decisions I'm making has really helped. So that's what I'm doing. I am editing still, and I don't really know how much longer I'll be editing for, but I'm really enjoying the editing process, and I feel like that is part of the reason that I am producing better quality work. Because I was talking to my agent about this, and Lauren is amazing. She is just the best support, and I'm really lucky to have a great team in my agency and in my publishers who are all just lovely people and really enthusiastic about the book, and also enthusiastic about getting it right, which is important to me. And we were talking about it, and she was saying that if I'm working in a way that I'm not happy with it, I'm always going to remember those sections and feel unhappy about them, even if they are right and even if they're good, even if the writing was the best writing in the world. Because I've got those memories of feeling bad about it, I'm always going to see it that way. So for me, the most important thing in this edit is to feel happy with it and to feel relaxed and calm. And yes, sometimes I'm going to think, oh, I wish I hadn't done it like that. But at the end of the day, I want the draft that I hand in this time to be something that I would be happy for people to read, which is not how I felt last time. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working on one of my favourite chapters in the whole book today, and I'm really excited about it. It's one of the ones that I deleted, and I missed it a lot, and the book didn't work the same without it, and it's been pretty much the same since I wrote the first draft of the book all the way back in 2016. It hasn't changed a lot. Things about it have changed, but the chapter has basically remained the same, and even some of the dialogue has remained the same, and I really love this chapter, so I'm so excited to work on it. But before I work on that chapter, I've got another chapter that I just need to quickly finish off, but I don't think that chapter is going to stay the same into the next edit. I think it will need line edits quite extensively, but I'm just kind of outlining it, and then the way that I work is I kind of do a kind of brief chapter and then fill in the gaps and make it so that it's right. So I'm not just splurging words onto the page, I'm doing kind of a map of how the scene goes, and then I strengthen it, and I find that that's a good way of making sure that each moment in the chapter is reached. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I am going to work on the best chapter. I love it. I'm really excited. I've been working for about 25 minutes now, and I set a timer on my phone for about 20 minutes and then worked over that so that that I could kind of just time what I was doing, and I managed 550 words of my chapter, and I've nearly finished it, which I'm really pleased with. So I'm going to take a break now. I'm going to do kind of a take on the Pomodoro technique where I work for like 25-minute bursts and then take a break, and that break can, I think, be longer than like the usual 5 minutes. I'm actually going to go and do something different now, and I think I'm going to go out and then come back and then do more work and do it like that. So rather than working in short bursts and having shorter breaks, I'm going to work in short bursts and get lots done, and then have longer breaks so that I'm not overworking. I'm just doing what is most comfortable for me, and that's just how I work best, rather than just keep going, keep going, keep going. Otherwise I think that my work will like slowly peter out throughout the whole day. So that's what I'm going to do now. I am super pleased with my progress. I am back from my break now, and I'm going to do some more work. I was going to do some editing, but I thought I would spread out my work today, so I'll do something now and then I'll have my lunch and then do editing this afternoon, because I've already done quite a lot this morning and I don't want to make it too monotonous for myself. So what I'm going to do now is I have my whiteboard, my trusty whiteboard. It is a bit dirty but it's completely blank, and I'm going to make some notes for a video I want to film either today or tomorrow. It's my Classics-a-thon announcement, because you'll have seen this by the time this video goes up, but next month I'm going to do another Christmas themed Classics-a-thon. So I did a Classics-a-thon in August, and now I want to do a Christmas themed one at the end of the year to encourage lots of you to read classics. So I'm going to write all my challenges out on my whiteboard so I can remember them when I'm filming. I've already got them all on my phone on a graphic, so I'm just going to transfer it over. I never actually used to make notes for my videos. I used to just make it up in my head, but I've actually liked the direction of having notes by my side just to refer to, just so I don't forget anything important when I'm filming the video, which I usually do anyway, but I like having something to refer back to if I need to. So I'm going to make some notes on here of all the things that I need to mention in the video, just key things, and then I think I might film it, because it's not going to be a long video. It's not going to be one full of recommendations, but I'm also going to have a few recommendations thrown in too. So I'm just going to try and loosely plan it out, which is kind of what I always do. I never usually plan anything in a detailed way, but I do find it helpful to have something that I can look at and know exactly where I'm going with something. So I have kind of a loose plan, and that's what works for me. But some of you, I'm sure, watch this and think, why doesn't she make more detailed notes or plans? It just doesn't work for me. So I'm going to write this out on my whiteboard so that I know what I'm doing when it comes to filming the video. Notes have been made, so I think I'm going to gather some books now to mention in the video, and then I'm going to show you my filming setup, because I think I'm going to manage to sneak in some filming before lunch. So this is what a video looks like for me when I am filming. You can see me in the viewfinder there. This is what I see. So you're always seeing me. I am always looking at this when I'm filming a video, and this is all the equipment I use, because I think it's always good to see what other people use, but also I think it's really important to say that I have built up my equipment over many years. So I didn't just invest in all of this at once. I built it up slowly and started off using quite basic equipment, and then over the years I've slowly added to it. So don't feel like you have to go out and buy all this stuff, because it is expensive to buy, but I've done it over a number of years as my channel has grown and my equipment has grown with my channel. So that's the way I did it. I didn't go straight into it buying loads of stuff. So my camera is the Canon EOS 700D. I think the 70D is better than this one, but this is kind of the basic model that a lot of booktubers use, and I really like it. I've never had any problems with it. It's good for video, it's good for photos, it's an all-round good camera. And I actually use a different lens. So originally I used the kit lens, but now I use this one, which is the Sigma 18 to 35mm one, which gives a much greater blur on the background, not very technical at all. And I just use a, I think 64GB SD card with this, but I have various other ones too that I've acquired over the years. And then at the end of last year I invested in a microphone because I've just been using the microphone on my camera, and it did take a lot of getting used to, but now I really love it. I love how it sounds, and I think you can really tell the difference. And the microphone I use is the Zoom H2N handy recorder. So this is what I see as I'm filming my videos. The first thing I do as soon as I start filming a video is to take the thumbnail image, because that's kind of one of the most important things, because it's the first thing you see. So there we go, my books have been selected. Let's do the thumbnail. Okay, time to film. Hi guys, you may have known that in August I hosted my first ever readathon called the Classicsathon, and I had so much fun doing it, so I am bringing it back again before the end of the year, and I am going to be hosting a Christmas Classicsathon in December, which I am so excited about. There we go. Time to film the rest of the video. So my video has been filmed. I was battling the sun today, which was a bit annoying, so it's going to take a bit of editing, I think, afterwards to make sure that the lighting is kind of consistent throughout. But I think it went well and I was really pleased. I always find videos really difficult to film because some days I'm really in the mood, other days I'm really not, and so it depends how well I can talk on a certain day or how well my ideas are developing in my head. But it was a really good video to film, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have watched it, my voice is going now because I've been talking for about 25 minutes straight, which is never a good idea. So I just have no voice. So I'm going to rest it now, and I think I'm going to just take a breather and kind of download that footage onto my laptop, and then kind of maybe get a drink or something because I need my voice to return, and then I'll probably have some lunch and then do some editing this afternoon. I am going to stop for lunch now. I'm gonna make myself some lunch, and whilst I eat it I'm going to listen on the BBC Sounds app to Shirley, the BBC Radio 4 version. There's like an omnibus of it. I don't know how much longer it's on there for, but that's what I'm going to listen to. I listened to part 1 yesterday, and I'm going to try and listen to all hour of part 2 today before it disappears, which is really irritating, but that's what I'm going to do. I just find it really good. I like sit here, eat my lunch, watch the birds out the window, my favourite thing to do, and listen to Shirley. Just the perfect day. Also, my dog was trying to make weird licking noises as well filming this, and I thought it was quite distracting, but I shall show her because she's very cute, really. Look, you're gonna be on YouTube. How do you feel about that? Happy? Got anything to say to the camera? What would you like to say to YouTube? She's like, please leave me alone. Hello. You're famous. Okay, well, that was a success. I'm happy now. Got my guinea pig mug. That's all I need. I am back now from my lunch. My lunch has been eaten. Shirley has been listened to, and I've also walked my dogs. So now I am going to do an afternoon's worth of work. I never seem to get as much done in the afternoon. It just seems to be one of those things where I get loads done in the morning and then slowly get slower as the day goes on. But I'm going to edit my video now and show you how I edit my videos, and then I'm going to do some more book editing. So just an editing afternoon, and I was gonna sit at my desk, but I mean I usually would, but I'm just gonna stay in bed. I'm not like in bed, but I'm on my bed, and that's where I'm gonna stay today, because I mean I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna say, oh yes, I've got my desk perfectly set up, it's really tidy and lovely, because I mean that's not the reality, and I don't want to glamorize anything in these vlogs. I just want to show it how it is, and part of that is saying if I want to work from bed, then I'm working from bed today, and I'm not moving for anybody. So I edit using Final Cut Pro, which looks like this, but originally I used Windows Movie Maker, and then when I got a Mac I started using iMovie, and then once I'd done more editing, was making more videos and had got used to editing, I started using Final Cut Pro, and it was a really good investment. I don't regret it at all. I really like using it. I find it easy to use, but it's slightly more advanced than iMovie, but still takes the same skills to use it, which I like about it. So I have my MacBook Pro, which I do everything on. I do my editing, I do my writing, I do social media, everything is done from here, and you can kind of see me. Hello. Okay, so my footage has been imported. It's all up here, and then I've imported all of the clips into the main kind of editor bit and then synced up the sound. So I couldn't really show you because it's all very complicated, but it is all together now. So this is everything that should be there to go into the video, and then I create it all into one compound clip, so it's all one long thing. And then now what I want to do is start chopping and changing. So I've taken my thumbnail, as you can see, I've taken a few of these and I just screenshot them in full screen, and then afterwards I import them, but I'll show you that step later because that's the bit right at the end. So I've imported everything into it, so now it is time to actually edit. And what I do is I go through and I go through all the clips and look. I basically just look at the sound a lot of the time. I'm listening to it and watching it, but a lot of the time I can see and remember where I went wrong, where I started something again. And usually if I want to start something again, I just clap when I'm filming the video and then leave a pause, and I can see it in the editor when I come to edit it. So I'm gonna do that. But I mean, I don't really know the easiest way of showing you, so that's basically what I do. I literally just cut bits and stick them together, and that is how I edit my videos. I have finished editing my video. It actually only took me about half an hour, between like 30 and 40 minutes today, which I'm really pleased with. Sometimes it can take me like an hour or 2 hours, which is always a nightmare, but it was only a 22-minute video and I got it down to 10 minutes, which is just goes to show how much I ramble on and make mistakes, that I can cut 12 minutes worth of footage. So before I get back into editing, I'm going to do some reading of The Year I Didn't Eat by Samuel Pollan, which I talked about at the start of this video. I'm a few chapters in, I'm on chapter 2 so far and enjoying it. So I'm going to read some more now, just for fun, because I feel like I've done a lot of working stuff, a lot of talking today, and so before I need to get into my writing again, I just want to kind of stop and think about some reading instead, because I think that if I'm not reading, then I'm not writing to the best of my ability. I feel like in the past few weeks I hadn't been reading as much and it had really affected the quality of my writing. So I'm going to do some reading, and it's really nice to read something that is not a classic, because I've read a few classics in a row, so I always like to read a few and then read something else, and this is a teen book, so it's nice to read something as well in the same genre that I am writing, although it is a very different book. Mine is not as hard-hitting. This is quite a tricky read from that perspective in terms of the things that it's getting you to think about, but I do like reading books like that, and I think it's a very important book. So I'm going to read some more of it now, and I'll tell you what I think about once I've read a bit more. About 60 pages of The Year I Didn't Eat, which I'm really enjoying. I'm going to read this over the next few days as well. I think it's so good, and do keep an eye out for it when it comes out next year, because I think it's going to be a really great release. I can't wait to read the rest of it, and I love the main character Max so much. We share a lot of the same interests, which is really nice. I don't usually see that in book characters, so that's really great, and just the voice and the style of the writing is really fab, so would really recommend this one, and I can't wait to read the rest of it. But before I sign off, because I'm gonna go and do some chill time and some editing time in a minute for the rest of the night, I want to talk about my YouTube comments, because I have been slowly making my way through them and trying to respond to my last few comments on my last few videos, and there have been some weird comments recently and it's kind of getting me down a bit, and most of them are from like spam accounts, but some of them are from genuine people, and they are just really getting on my nerves and really making me not want to do it. And that's because a lot of them are quite creepy comments, like sexualizing me, talking about what I'm wearing, the way I look, talking about wanting to marry me, or like, are you single, or whatever. And I mean, a lot of them are on videos where I'm just talking about books and talking about the Brontes as women and how that was an issue for them, and talking about like sexism then and now. And I mean, the comments like this is just, I'm trying to have fun making videos talking about books. Like, I really don't want people sexualizing me in the comments. It's really getting on my nerves and just makes my heart sink every single time I see the comments. And I try and delete a lot of them, like the ones where it's like, oh, you're hot and sexy. Like, just don't. I mean, if you're sat there thinking, oh, I'm gonna leave a comment saying that, like, please don't. Or saying like, I'm gonna marry you because I want to share your books and not just your books. Like, I find that incredibly creepy, and I find it incredibly irritating because I'm literally just talking about what I love. And like, fair enough, I really like the comments where it's like, oh, I like your lipstick, what lipstick is it? Or like, oh, I like what you're wearing, whatever. Like, they're fine, but to the point where it's like, I'm just ignoring every single thing you say and I'm just going to comment on what you look like. And I mean, it's getting me down. And I've had it for so many years now. Like, I started doing this when I was 12, and I think from the age of like 14 or whatever, I've had the same comments over and over. It just starts as a harmless comment and then it just escalates, and it's really been getting on my nerves. And I didn't want to just like sit here and let it get to me. I just wanted to address it, because if you're one of those people who leaves comments, and like, seriously, just please stop, because I hate it. I mean, I love making videos and I love talking about books, but it gets me down so much with comments like that, because they're just unnecessary. I'm here to talk about books and that is it. And I mean, you're not paying me a compliment. You're literally just saying something that completely ignores everything else I'm doing, and I just don't find it flattering at all. It's creepy, it's weird. Please stop. I mean, yeah, not a very happy note to end the video on, but it's been getting me down as I've been working my way through the comments. And like, it just gets you down and wears you down and kind of distracts from the message, and I don't like it, so please stop. I mean, I'm saying it once, and if I have to say it again, I'm gonna get seriously pissed off. But yeah, it gets me down. Please don't. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I'm gonna spend the rest of the night editing and just taking it easy with it, trying to enjoy the editing. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I feel like it was a bit different to the last vlog, but I really hope you enjoyed it all the same. And I will see you guys soon. Happy reading.